path climbs away from the training grounds in a slow curve along the hillside as you make the climb towards the top of the academy walls. Behind you, the noise of sparring fades. Steel on wood becomes a distant rhythm. Shouted corrections blur into the wind. Ahead, the academy wall rises higher with every step, its stone warm in the afternoon light. When you reach the top, the space opens all at once. The outer overlook runs broad along the wall, wide enough for patrol teams to gather before leaving the academy grounds. A preparatory area offering a wide vantage point to survey the surrounding lands. From here, the southern valley spreads outward in every direction. Forests ripple dark green across the lower hills. A river bends through the land like a silver thread. Far roads wind towards scattered villages, and watchtowers so distant they look no larger than game pieces upon a table. Several older students and a handful of academy guards stand along the overlook, studying the land below or speaking in low voices beside a long stone table set near the wall. Beyond them, banners of purple and teal stir in the wind. And at the far end of the overlook stands Captain Mira Voss. She turns as your group approaches. Her dark hair is braided tightly and tied back from her face. Refined officer's armor fits close for movement, its steel worked with the Academy's purple and teal heraldry. A dark cloak bearing the Academy emblem rests across her shoulders, shifting sharply in the wind. Everything about her stance suggests readiness, but not restlessness. She moves like someone who has spent years learning which dangers can be stopped before they ever reach the gate. Her gaze passes over the initiates once, measured, focused, alert.
Master Orin has shown you how strength is forged.
Her voice carries cleanly across the overlook.
Now you will learn why it matters beyond the walls.
She steps aside and gestures toward the valley below. No one speaks. You follow her gaze. From this height, the roads are easier to see. A merchant road follows the river. A smaller trail disappears into the trees. Farther west, a ridge path cuts along the hills toward a distant watchtower. Captain Voss turns toward the stone table. Set into its surface is a carved map of the continent of Morellon, worked in remarkable detail. Hills rise from the stone in shallow relief. Rivers, roads, and forest lines are etched with precise care. Small points of magical light move slowly across its surface, tracing living paths over the carved roads. Several initiates lean forward.
These are the Academy patrol routes.
She places one gloved hand beside a moving light as it drifts along the river road.
Every day, trained heroes leave the Academy to walk these paths. Here, on our home continent of Morellon, new initiates stay close, patrolling the meadows. As you grow stronger, you can venture further, scouting the Badlands, where the danger is greater. Finally, our upperclassmen walk the mountains, helping the people who live there and finding threats to the common folk and stopping them before they can find their way into the valley.
Her hand shifts to a marker near a watchtower.
Heroes keep the roads safe.
Another light turns through a wooded pass.
They look for signs that something has changed.
Another pauses near a cluster of farms carved into the stone.
They make certain that assistance is delivered in a timely manner.
One of the initiates tilts their head.
Assistance?
Mira looks up. Her expression does not harden, but it grows more exact.
A frightened village after a storm,
she says.
A bridge weakened by spring floods. A caravan delayed too long on the road. tracks where no tracks should be. A frightened animal driven too close to a farm. A dispute between travelers that may turn ugly if no one arrives to calm it. A patrol is not meant solely to dispatch threats, but to be a strong arm to aid those who cannot aid themselves.
She lets the examples settle.
But sometimes, a patrol must fight. There are beasts in the wild who offer threat, either through instinct or malice.
The wind snaps her cloak against her armor.
But if you do this work well, fighting never becomes necessary.
That changes the feel of the overlook. You look again at the lights moving across the stone. They no longer seem like signs of warriors racing toward glory. They look like signs of people standing watch, so others can live ordinary days in peace. Captain Voss studies the class, as if gauging who understands the difference.
The most important patrol is often the one no one sings about.
A few initiates glance at one another. Mira continues.
It returns with the road still open, with the frightened calmed, with the lost guided home, with danger turned aside before steel ever leaves its sheath.
She continues.
Anyone can admire a battle once it has ended, once the pain and fear has faded into memory. Wisdom is recognizing the moment before violence begins, and doing what is necessary to keep it from reaching that point at all.
That, more than anything else she has said, holds the overlook in silence. Below the wall, a hawk circles once over the river and disappears toward the trees. You look back to the table. Most of the glowing patrol lights move along clear roads and familiar routes. But near the far edge of the carved map, towards the southeastern edge, one section of stone looks colder than the rest, darker, more intimidating. A large icon in the form of a dark mansion sits like a scar that is best forgotten. No glowing lights pass over it. No marked patrol lines cross it. Set beneath the landmark is drawn a symbol you have seen before. A star with points like daggers, similar to the Academy crest, but sharper in its edges and without the crossed blades that symbolize the shield of protection the Academy stands for. For a moment, your breath catches. It is the same older star you glimpsed on the hidden map in the mapkeeper's chamber. You are not the only one who notices. A student beside you leans a fraction closer. Captain Voss sees the movement immediately. Without breaking the flow of the lesson, she reaches for a folded route chart from the table's edge and places it over that worn section of the map. When she looks up, her expression is unreadable.
Not every road remains open forever. At times, there are places that must be abandoned, so precious resources can be directed to roads that better serve,
she says. The words sound as though they are designed to provoke more questions, not answers. Then she gestures once more across the carved map.
For now, you need to understand the paths that still serve the living.
No one presses her. Not here. Not with that tone. She traces a route leading from the Academy to a line of southern farms.
Patrol work is not only strength and vigilance, it is preparation.
Her hand moves toward the gates below.
Supplies, mounts, messenger birds, pack animals, field discipline. The small practical matters that determine whether a hero arrives ready to help or arrives as another problem.
She steps back from the table and looks over the initiates again.
One day, you will walk these roads yourselves. When that day comes, you will not be judged by how eagerly you sought glory.
Her eyes narrow slightly. not in anger, but in emphasis.
You will be judged by whether people felt safer because you were there.
The valley wind moves across the overlook once more. At last, Mira turns and points down toward the lower academy yards. From this height, you can now see the long stone roof of the stables near the wall below. Stable hands lead horses across the yard. Messenger birds shift along a high rail. A pair of broad-shouldered hounds trots beside a handler, carrying travel tack toward an open doorway.
Patrols do not run on courage alone.
A faint edge of dry humor touches her voice.
Nor do heroes.
That almost earns a smile from the line.
Before you are trusted beyond the gates, you must understand the creatures and companions that can aid you in your studies and in your duties. Not just mounts to get you from here to there, but familiars, companions, pets. These creatures can aid you in a myriad of ways you may not even be able to comprehend yet, in ways both mundane and magical.
She nods toward the stable yard below.
Stable Master Stonehoof will show you. For now, your introduction to patrols has ended. Proceed to the stables below. I will see you again on the morrow.
And with that, she turns from the group and continues her patrol preparations with her third-year student heroes. You cast one last glance at the valley, the roads, and the river catching light below the wall. Then your eyes flick, just once, back toward the covered corner of the map table. The folded cloth still lies over the pointed star sigil. The symbol lingers in your thoughts as you leave the overlook, descend the wall path, and make your way toward the academy stables waiting below.